from the network studios. Welcome to another stream, side of the city. And yeah, guys, I have literally just made some new NTV adverts. So, you know, you kind of got to update them every now and again. You know, I kind of feel now it's a bit... It's bad to go through like a load of Park Drive episodes with just the same adverts in the advert breaks. It's nice to sometimes see a bit of a different one. So I've gone ahead and made 3 brand new ones for you guys. But what I want to do today is work on Pill's Pharmacy. And I want to expand Pill's Pharmacy and put it like into other locations around the city, because Pill's Pharmacy should obviously start becoming bigger, in my opinion. Now, we currently have 2 Pill's Pharmacies around the map, and you know, they are obviously quite... Actually, I think there could be 3 Pill's Pharmacies around the map, actually.
What are you running?
That's obviously besides the point. Pill's Pharmacy... Yeah?
What are you running?
What am I what?
Why are you running? Oh shoot.
Running? I'm not even...
I just wanted to say that, sorry.
So yeah, so we need to like find a new place for a Pill's Pharmacy. And I think this could potentially be a place.
Pill's Pharmacy to get shoved up my mall.
And but it's a bit small, so I don't know if we'd actually fit pills on there, along with the little circle thing, the little like red and yellow pill symbol that we have. But it's an idea. It's a thing to consider for the future, that, you know, maybe one might go there. Let's have a look where else. I think, if I remember right, there's one in the Sandstone Bay Shopping Centre. Right here. Yeah, there is. See, there's a little Pill's Pharmacy spot here.
Oh, so start building up there.
So we don't really want to do one just there then, do we? Because that's obviously quite close to this one now. Although I do want this to be a bit more of a bigger franchise around the city. It still doesn't potentially mean that I want it to be a small feature, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and find another place. There is a Pill's Pharmacy over here as well. This is our 3rd one. It joins on with the Park Drive doctor's surgery. And this is a Pill's Pharmacy as well. Look, you see our little symbol here. So we've got one here as well. So we need to really think like where we can put another one, but also at the same time, it's not too close to the other Pill's Pharmacies that we obviously have. So we need to really think of a place where we can do this, where we can make this pretty good. Obviously, we've got the other Pill's Pharmacy just there. So where are we really going to put this where it would look good and where it wouldn't kind of look, let's say, out of the ordinary? Now, like I said, there's one just there, so even here's still a little close. We could put one down near the seaside. That would be a potential place to go ahead and stick a Pill's Pharmacy. Let's have a look down at the seafront. See what we can do there. See what goes down at the seafront. See if there's like... I don't want to particularly build a new building for Pill's Pharmacy. I want to like more or less transform a building that we don't necessarily need to use into a Pill's Pharmacy, if that makes sense. And I think I might just have to place... Maybe not. Or do I? Oh no, it's no, we don't really. We have a HSBC bank here. I thought it was something else. I thought it was an RKF Motors, which is...
if you get high, you can jump off it and deploy your parachute again.
Which is a little bit, you know, I want to keep the bank. I don't know what this is. Well, I think it's a Digit, but it's a very, it's a very weird looking Digit. The The building wise isn't really. There's nothing to it. It's just what. It's just a little square with a bigger square. I mean, I can see where it's coming from, but compared to something like this, looks a little more
I've
city-like.
got 213
So
wood,
maybe
so it's
that can
not
have
bad.
a little bit of improvement. As you guys know, we're kind of in the process of fixing up this city. We're kind of like taking down the bad things and remaking them and making them all look better, which is good. Oh, someone got rid of my cooperative and changed it to a local. It can be a local anyway. That's no biggie. Yeah, I really don't know, guys.
Oh, oh, oh,
I'm completely. I tell
oh,
you
it
where we
makes a
might be.
limit.
Wait, don't worry, guys. Hope's not
It
over
makes a
just yet.
limit.
Hope is not over just yet. I also think there might be another pills pharmacy up
No, I
here
don't
as
know
well.
anymore.
Wait, is this a pills? There's something here, isn't there? Oh yeah, there's another pharmacy here, but it's not a pills. I won't. I won't make that a pills. I won't make that a pills.
Yes.
Fuck are you from Wonga Woo? You get it, guys. I'm sure
Well,
you do. All right, we'll go over to this building
no, someone's shooting me. Don't mind, someone's shooting me.
here. Here
Just
we
carry
are,
on going up.
guys.
They're definitely coming up for you, though.
Think of the
I
children.
built a little, like, wall thing. Just carry on from it.
Think of the children. Do do do.
Well, be careful,
Think
they're
of.
gonna break the bottom one.
All right, so that's obviously McDonald's, isn't it? We've got NTV Cinema. We've got Shoe, so that's the shoe shop.
Oh, we've got
We've
rid of it
got the
all.
we've got the candy shop. We've got a
Look, you
KFC.
can't go a little bit further
We've got
down.
a TSB. We've got a game, and we've got a Next. How big
You're
is a
gonna die.
TSB? TSB, I might change to a pharmacy. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I've
know
just
what? Let's
realised
do
that
it,
absolutely
guys.
nothing.
Let's do it.
Look like they're going
Let's
over to
do
your
it.
loot now. God, there's nothing, Will.
Let's change this to a pills pharmacy.
Oh, I actually want people in the squad, but no one wants to join our squad.
So let's paint this white, but you know
How am I changing no filter?
that's obviously literally just changing the blocks, really, isn't it?
After this, we'll go back to duo if you
Deep
want.
down in the heart of Texas.
Well, we'll go for duo now.
Get rid Get rid of the blue, change it to white.
Yeehaw!
This is a great place for a pills pharmacy, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm going to anyway. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, I know it's my last game as well, Will.
Alright, let's take this down. So yeah, I made some adverts. I made a pills pharmacy advert. I made a Lloyd's TSB
Oh
advert. Well,
guys!
Lloyd's Bank now. And I made a SBSC advert. Who? Alright, guys. Now, what I'm potentially thinking is, if we make this a wee bit bigger, we might have the ability to actually fit the whole thing in. But I'm gonna make this. There we go. All right. So what we need to do. That's annoying. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
What's that? My bloke's just dancing! One, two, three, four!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, great.
I just mugged them right up there, dude.
That's not good, is it? This,
Really?
and then this will be 5, lot. Oh no, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you see. And then that's still a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you see?
I'm
So
wasting all my
like, it's
trap.
kind of like the yellow has got to be longer. Well, it's kind of like the yellow's got to be longer than the red, which is kind of a bit annoying because, yeah, I don't think we're going to put a pills pharmacy here now, the more I think about it. It doesn't seem to fit the
I'll
area
make this
that well.
so bait.
We can make that something else. Let's
No.
go and have a look elsewhere. So, Yo Martin, Network Studios,
No, what
Park
about
Drive,
this? This is the
that
bait.
business.
You broke the roof.
Yo Martin. Yo, alright. If you spot anywhere, Martin, while I'm
Oh, you
just going
broke the
about,
roof.
where you think we
Put a
could
trap
fit a
on it. This
pills
was the
pharmacy,
bait.
just go ahead and let me know because
For
I'm
God's
looking for new
sake.
places for a pills pharmacy. Any news? Nope, no news at all. I have got no news at all, Martin. Really, to be honest with you, I've made 3 new adverts to go in the advert break of Park Drive, but other than that,
I think you should make a condom advert.
that's really, I did think about that one time a while ago.
Do you not want any baby Daniels running around your house?
You watch, you watch Bonk Gang, Boonk Gang. Nope.
Take me to boot camp. What guns you got, bro? Yeah, same. We're too good for guns on Fortnite. We'll just use our melee weapon. We've came
All right.
700. Fine. If that was what you want to make your last game.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting off
guys,
now anyway.
you should do. You should do a travel agent's advert. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I did do that once actually. I did one for visiting
Stream,
Paul,
wait, make sure
for
you
visiting
subscribe to William
Steve,
Straw Plays.
to visiting Steve's city. So
I don't have a clue. I
so
should stream, subscribe to William Straw Plays.
yeah, subscribe to William Straw Plays. He plays with straw. Yeah, he's starting to do GTA videos and Fortnite videos, which means he does videos every fortnight, which is like 2 weeks. That that that's just so, That was not even funny, but I just thought I'd say it anyway. So yeah. So are you saying what I'm saying? And then he'll link you to it. pretty much. Yeah, I actually don't have a clue where we can put a pills pharmacy, guys, because it's just not good, is it? Like, oh, won't you stay with me? Oh, darling, won't you? That wolf are woo. That wolf are you. We should do a new one. I tell you what we haven't done for a while, Martin. Put a pharmacy in the shopping area across the bridge. Trust me, there is a couple of pills pharmacies across the bridge, but I haven't found anywhere to put one. Like, there's that there, but that's a toy shop. Candy block shop coming soon. Shoe. But there is a pills pharmacy just in here. Look. This is a pills pharmacy, look.
How many subscribers you got now, Will? Oh! How many subscribers you got now, Will?
You know. Oh, wow. Trust someone to build one of these. I bet Ryan left this ages ago. You're in the army now. We could change this cafe to one. Huh.
Will always gives the dress up.
Lol. We could always put one here. I think here will be the place. I know there is like one just up here, but... Or is it too close? I tell you what, we'll do one here. Why not? Why not, guys?
I got a blue AR.
Because I need to know, are you there with the flow?
Oh, God. Which one first?
So yeah, guys. Does it have to be a pharmacy? I'm just looking for more places to put one in. That's all. There's no actual like. It doesn't have to be a pharmacy, no. But I just wanted to put more pharmacies in.
Reviving.
You know, that was my only. That was my only thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him once I revived him.
You know. There we go. The only issue I have now is the white sign. There we go, guys. We're sorted. There we go. That can be a pills now.
Where? Behind the shed thing.
It's a
God,
shed.
I'm scared.
It's a shed. It's a shed thing. Yo, bro, ring me after live stream. Need to talk to you. Alright, sound. I will give you a buzz on the old mobile. Well, actually, the tablet, but yeah, you get the point. So yeah, I did make some new adverts, Martin. I made a Lloyd's Bank advert. I made a Pills Pharmacy advert, and I also made an SBSC advert. If you've got any advert ideas, doesn't necessarily have to be filmed. Doesn't necessarily have to be filmed on Minecraft. It can be filmed using screenshots. But if you've got any ideas for adverts, how I could make a pretty cool advert,
honestly, I'm being serious.
Just hit me up. Because I want to because Part Drive's different, but then a lot of the NTV logo clips and adverts are usually the same in each episode. So like sometimes for about 5 episodes, you get the same advert in the advert break. So I want to actually make it so I've got a little bit of a selection of choice to change it up. So a Wi-Fi advert
Well, I'm on like
or
10
like a
hours.
broadband advert. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. So the chances are like you are going to see the same advert still quite often, but like you will still see different adverts. So like one episode you might see the Pills Pharmacy
Oh,
advert and
you're going.
another advert. Then the next episode you might see like the drill advert and let's say like the
Please,
Daily
Rob, I'll
Star
see
advert.
soon.
So like it will come back round to the same advert again, but you are gonna just see a little mixture of different ones, and then over time, them older adverts will go. They will eventually
Oh,
go.
come on,
What about a
please.
boost advert? Yeah, a
Right,
boost
that's good.
advert will be quite good. I can do some stuff with a boost advert. I've got a pretty cool idea actually for that advert. So yeah, I've got a really cool
Oh, there's a
advert
ton of metal
idea
over
for
there.
that.
Go
Now
go
you've
for it.
said it. I'm not going to tell you about it though, because it's going to involve like filming two little scenes, and well, probably about three little clips, but the third clip's going to be the longest clip, and it's going to be quite good. So yeah, make sure Martin Boost. Martin Boost is in PD. Yeah, technically his skin is. The reason for that is it's kind of hard to not use the same skin. There isn't a lot of skin choices in Minecraft now anymore. Like for example, you've got the Simpsons pack, you've got the skin pack 1, 2, and 3, and then you've got like Minecraft Story Mode, Star Wars. You don't really get a lot of skins with a lot of like variety of different normal people in. So like, and sometimes not everybody has like all the skin packs. So it's kind of hard to come up with a skin which either hasn't already been used. Like for example, like there's a couple of skins in Skin Pack Default where they've actually got the same face but they've just got different hair colour. So for example, Mary's sister plays in this skin, which pretty much has exactly the same face as this but with a different hair colour. And then obviously this is and then obviously like this here is obviously Paul's girlfriend, but they're the same face. And then it's the same with Chelsea. Look, they've all got the same face, just a different coloured hair. So it's kind of hard not to use the same skin. But you could use the normal Alex as well as that
Where are
Alex for
we?
the same. This time last year we were doing them MC Noble concerts. Yeah, no, actually, I'll tell you the truth. I was getting them recommended on my YouTube for some reason. Um, because when I was uploading my real gig concert videos,
Really?
which I don't know if you've seen them, when I was uploading them and when I was like watching them and back to like show people in the house and that, I was getting recommendations at the side for like interview with Martin Boost and MC Noble on the Kingston, on MC Noble live at Kingston City. And there was one of them what I watched, and holy my life, Camo had the biggest echo ever in the middle of that video. Well, like from all the time he was talking, there was like one of the biggest echoes you could ever hear in my entire life, like through a
I'm going
video.
off now anyway, bro.
Like everything he said was just getting repeated.
Ash,
Yeah.
I'm going now.
Alright, I will see you later, alligator, in a
Yeah, I'll be on
while.
tomorrow for PD.
Alright, PD tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you in a
Yeah,
bit.
alright, see you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
No, sorry, no,
And
no.
not on the stream. I'm not going on the stream, don't worry. It's just they're going as of right now. So yeah, guys. Yes, guys. That is it. Yeah, we were doing the MC Noble events this time last year. They were quite fun to do. The only thing with them is they were kind of just the same thing in the same area, in a different area. I remember you lot had to wait for me to finish my cheesy chips before we started. Lol. But yeah, the only thing about them MC Noble lives was they were good, but they were kind of the same, just in a different Minecraft world. Like, and to be honest, like, it was hard to make it look good, if that makes sense. It wasn't it wasn't really like it wasn't really that good, and it was quite boring for people who were doing MC Noble just to move around on the stage for like an hour while I just MC'd. And sometimes like it was hard to like come up with different things to say. Like I was doing a proper like hour live show, and you know, it was just kind of like we had to try and take breaks. It was hard to like get everybody's audio in the right place. I liked it, but it wasn't exactly like the easiest thing to do. So I would do it again, but I wouldn't probably do it as regular as we did them before. I wouldn't like try and make them like once a month, and like I'd just do them like now and again. So like we do one and then we haven't done one for a while, so we'd do one again, and you know, we'd build up more hype. Definitely, in a way, it was practicing for the future. It was in a way, because now I actually done a real gig, which that real gig, Martin, was absolutely insane. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I was nervous. I mean, come on, don't you know? There's no denial. I was shitting a brick, right? You know, there's no lie in there. I was absolutely bricking it, pooing my pants. But when I got onto the like stage, or let's say the music area, it was absolutely fantastic. Like, it was absolutely insane being up there. I felt just at home. It was absolutely sick. Like it was quite nerve-wracking doing it in Minecraft, but when you actually do it in real to over 100 people on your first gig, like, bearing in mind, like, that was the first time. I've never ever gone live before, like done a live performance like that. Never in my life. You know, like I've barely even ever MC'd in front of friends. Like, I've done it the odd time at the pub, but I've never gone ahead and done like MCing live regular. Whereas people like, say, like MC Wardy and stuff like that, they're like always like in the park or in school with like their friends, and they're always like recording it for them, and there's always like people in the background. I've done all of my MCs by myself in my room. So everything I've done, not trying to big myself up, I've taught myself to do it, if that makes sense. Everything I've done, I've taught myself to do it. No one's helped me. No one's recorded videos for me. No one's like set me a good place. I've done every MC. MC Lynchy, definitely. I've done all my MCs sat in this bedroom. I've recorded every single one, and I've taught myself. I've not had anybody like give me practice on rapping or anything. I've just watched videos of other MCs and picked it up myself and gone ahead and done it. You know what I mean? That's obviously, you know, that's obviously the way it is. And I got myself that first gig not by asking the bloke, but just by doing what I'm doing and showing willing. And then he's gone and thought, yeah, he's really trying his best, you know. He's putting the effort in, you know, he's young, he's trying to get himself out there, he's not being shy, he's not getting any help, he's doing it all himself. So yeah, I'll give him the gig. Hi, pro gamer. So I think that's another reason why I got the gig myself, because, you know, I wasn't exactly just trying to be like cocky and show off and, you know, diss all the other MCs and, you know, make myself out to be a big clown. You know, I've just gone there and purely made my own MC videos and talked about in the MCs what I wanted to say, shouted people out. I've always like been responsive with fans on my Facebook page. I've always like replied to messages and shouted people out. And I think that just also helped, like, showing the willing, rather than like somebody who can just like diss somebody and call them out about the mums and stuff like that and get a load of views online. Like, that's not that's maybe fun to watch, but that's not necessarily always the way to get a gig, if that makes sense. Like, in my opinion, they're not people who rap seriously. They're people who just do it for a bit of teenage fun. Now, obviously, I diss people. I have dissed people before, obviously. But in my personal opinion, dissing people is just for a bit of teenage fun. Like, I'm not being harsh, like, you don't see somebody like Eminem, for example, going out on YouTube and, and dissing somebody, like calling them out and saying this and that. He's there making his own tracks. And that's the same with like Snoop Dogg. You don't see like big Snoop Dogg and Eminem little disses in the park on YouTube, do you? If you get what I mean, like they're always there in the studio making their own tracks, releasing their albums, doing their own songs. They're not worried about dissing another rapper just to get views. So, has Martin been in PD? Bro, you've missed PD then, CJ, because Martin, and I still say this today, Martin was one of the best characters that PD ever had. Martin is one of the best characters PD will ever have. We will never have a character better than Martin. And I always relate this back to a Pacific episode, and I still think today that this episode was the best episode that Martin ever appeared in, and for that I think it's one of my most favourite Park Drive episodes. And I think it was episode 16 to the exact, and it was when Steve Woods started the Noreen's house fire. And basically what had happened is Billy had been playing a football match, and he'd won the football match. He'd done, like, his team had done well. So Martin, being the nice dad, which he is, he offered to treat them all to a takeaway. So we went to a takeaway, and at the time, Martin had a fallout with Noreen, which is obviously Martin's foster mum. And Lisa, which was Martin's daughter, wanted Noreen to come for tea and share the pizza. However, Martin didn't want Noreen to come because of what had happened. And anyway, while Martin had gone, Lisa had a fallout with Billy, and she said that she was storming out and going round to see Noreen because she still likes Noreen. And Noreen had gone out, not realising that Steve Woods had gone in and started the house fire, and Lisa got trapped. And when Martin came back from the pizza shop and realised the fire and went in there and realised that Lisa was on the floor, unconscious, he did this jump down through like all the rubble, and he put on this like voice which made it like he was upset, like he was almost crying. And I could have sworn that he was crying. Like, I don't think he was, but it sounded so realistic that when I watched it back, it actually put a tear in my eye. And like, I just realised that day that Martin knew how to roleplay, just simply because of how he did that scene. He was going like, Lisa, but he did it in such a really like realistic way that it sounded so realistic. And like, I mean, Martin's always been good at acting anyway. Like, when we've done scenes with him getting angry, he's always done a good job at that. But it was just when we did that episode and I watched back the editing and I put like the sad music over it, it just like really hit me how good Martin did in that episode. And that's why I always say now that Martin is one of the best actors Park Drive will ever have. The only reason Martin's not really in Park Drive is just because he doesn't always get time to do it. He does a lot of other things in real life. Otherwise, we'd have Martin back in a heartbeat in every episode, possibly in most scenes of every episode. Well, in a lot of scenes, let's say, doing all the things he did in the past, because Martin is such an amazing character. So yeah, Martin was in PD. Martin was in PD from episode 1 to about episode 29 to 30, and then he left for a while because he got busy in school, and then he came back from about episode 38 to about episode 50, and then he got locked in the cupboard at Paul's house, and then he kind of took another break from Park Drive, and then he came back from about episode 50. He came back a little bit later, and he was living in the mansion for a few episodes. And then he went away again. I can't remember why he went away. I think there was something, and we made out like he'd been arrested. And Steve Woods was trying to apologise to him at the time. And then he appeared in like one episode where he came out of prison, and then he kind of like laid low around the area and had been watching what Steve Woods had been doing. And then he made his latest and most noticeable appearance in episode 100 when he shot Steve Woods, and that's the last time we saw him as of up to now. But a couple of episodes ago there was a reference to him via a phone call. Noreen just mentioned that he'd had a message through, a text message, on Halloween, and that's all we really know about Martin at the moment. Like, that's all we know at the moment, that he wished her a happy Christmas, and that's as far as it goes, really. He wished her a happy Christmas. That's the latest thing that I know that's happened with Martin at the moment. That he wished her, not Christmas, Halloween. I think I said Christmas. If I did, then I mean Halloween. So he wished her a happy Halloween and stuff like that. So I'll be back, Ash. I'm telling you that. Oh well, fair enough. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there's always room for Martin to obviously return to our PD screens. But you know, I can't tell you when, and obviously like when I know and how we're gonna fit it into the storyline, whatever's going on at the time. He's ready to come back. Obviously I won't be telling you guys, but you know, like I have got a really cool idea lined up. I also, that, you know, the storyline which is seeing Jimmy locked in the cellar at the moment. I've also decided how that's gonna end, how that storyline. You know, I told you about the big blow at Christmas. No, I don't think you have. At Christmas, you know, I know how the ending's going to end now. I've got the idea for the ending. It's going to end in a little bit of an unusual way. It's going to kind of, because it's going to open up some, I told you guys that someone's going to be sadly leaving Park Drive because of it. And it's gonna open up some like different things to happen after this storyline has blown over. So like, in other words, it's hard to explain, but let's say it's gonna leave a couple of different suspects. Let's just say, like, you're gonna think that it's gonna be one thing, but then there's gonna be, like, let's say something that gets revealed that might show you it's another thing, and then there might be something else what might make you think it's another thing. So, like, instead of you thinking that it's maybe to do with this one person, why this character's left, you might then see something which might make you think, oh, you know, it's maybe this person actually. And, you know, there's going to be, like, the truth isn't going to come out, isn't going to come out for a while, but then actual character might think it's him as well, if that makes sense. But, you know, like, think that, well, he was the last person to maybe, let's say, have something to do with this character that people know, so he might have thought that it might have been him that was part of it, if that makes sense. In other words, it's like a death. Say like a death, but like this one person was the last person to kind of injure this person that we know about, so he thinks he is the killer, but then there could be a little like hidden storyline that maybe gets revealed in the future that shows that it maybe wasn't that person and maybe something happened after this person was injured. A bit like when Carl King died on Emmerdale, when Chaz Dingle whacked him over the head with a brick and she thought that she had killed him, but someone else actually whacked him over the head with the same brick later on, kind of like finished him off when he wasn't properly dead, if that makes sense. So a similar thing like that is going to happen. where you might think it's one person, but then it turns out to be another person maybe. So there's going to be a lot of twists and turns to it, but I have finally decided how this character's going to go at the end of Park Drive. And just because he's going, guys, doesn't mean there's any hard feelings between me and that character. I like that character, and he's put a lot of work into Park Drive, not just doing his character, but getting into a lot of other skins and stuff like that for me. And, you know, I have said to this guy that I'm keeping him around just to help out with skins, and, you know, he still gets to join and see what's happening. You know, I don't want to feel like, you know, you're not doing Park Drive anymore, don't come into our chat parties type thing. I'm not that harsh. You can come help out with a few skins, still find out what's happening and be there and chill with all of us Park Drive people. And, you know, that's possibly going to be the same with other characters as well. The only thing is all the characters that have died in the past have been my characters, the ones I do the voices for. For example, like the only character what's died who I didn't do the voice for was Shirley. I've done all the voices for the other people because if you think about it, Lisa died and I did the voice for it, which was obviously, you know, character I did the voice for. We also had who was the next person to die? I'm trying to think who the next person was to die. Postman, I did the voice for him. Mary, I did the voice for him. Mark, he didn't technically die, we just thought he was dead. Marco, I did the voice for him. Steve Woods, I done the voice for him. The Doctor, who's just recently died, I did the voice for him. And obviously, like, you know, it's all my voiced characters what end up dying, if that makes sense. It's never like other people's characters. So, like, I've never had to come across this, but, you know, it's the same with every character. They can go ahead and obviously do they can still stick around and join on episode days. You know, there's obviously no doubt about that. So, you know. But yeah, PD is actually, you know, back and going good again. I mean, like, we're getting episodes done again. We're getting people to do the episodes, which is obviously quite good. So, that type of stuff. And, you know, it's good because I always like PD. And it was kind of boring when I wasn't doing PD. I was kind of bored. Like, I enjoyed the GTA stuff, but I felt like we put so much effort into PD that just to start doing something else instead, what didn't kind of fit as good, because PD had so many episodes. Like sometimes you can start a series and you do a couple of episodes and it doesn't work out, and, you know, you're not really as bothered. Ever thought about doing PD 4 days a week? No, I haven't actually. To be honest, I don't want to put that amount of pressure on the characters. If PD somewhat ever got massiver to the point where we had like more people coming in and we had to film more scenes to get more episodes out, then I would more than likely give it a go, yeah. Could you personally imagine, like, if PD was like on 5 days a week, Monday till Friday, just didn't come on at the weekend, and imagine if, like, it was people's jobs, and imagine if there was a studio, right, which was kitted out full of PS4s with high-speed internet, and there was like a cafeteria and all of that stuff, and you know, obviously, like, and imagine if, like, people came to that studio every day to film Park Drive scenes as their characters, and, like, filling in skins and stuff like that. If that makes sense, like, imagine it if it was an actual proper if it was an actual proper job. And imagine if we actually got like sponsored and real adverts got played in like advert break space, and like Part Drive became a weekly thing what came out like every night, just like the soaps do, say like 6:30 or something, or say like when another soap isn't on. Imagine it. If that was the case, I'd join back, because that would be my career. Yeah, like imagine if you actually got paid for it. Like, I think that'd be sick. Like getting up on a morning, putting your coat on, and then like driving to work, but like going to like a studio kitted out with PS4s and like joining a Minecraft world and filming scenes all day. But imagine if it was like modded though. So you know, like say like I could, so say like you could like set a camera going what would film me without me having to like take my hood off and stuff like that. So say like if I wanted to be Sean, for example, I could like move around and be Sean, but I could get filmed. Do you know what I mean? And imagine if there was like different camera angles what could just get switched to in the scene, if that makes sense. So like rather than me say like having to like walk in my skin and follow Sean outside if he's leaving his house. Say if there was like a little like camera which would then change angle to like be pointing like to be like filming from the outside of the door, but like still in the same scene with the same audio, if that makes sense. Just imagine it. Like I think personally that would be sick. That would be like amazing. I would do PD as a career if I could, because I find it enjoyable enough. And you know, I do potentially want to do something with music, but I do really enjoy filming things and making things as well. So doing something like PD really wouldn't go amiss, if that makes sense. The DJ store. Yeah, that does not look good. Mate, that would be sick though, wouldn't it? Like, coming to work as PD. I think that would personally be sick in my opinion. Anyway, I'm just going to be a second, guys. If you do want to stay in the stream, don't go anywhere. Don't worry, I'm not going to be long. I think I've got a warm drink to pick up and I need the loo. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Okay guys, I'm back. They didn't realise it was live again. And then they say I should cut down. I mean, like, really? The thing is, they don't understand what it is. They think it's just playing. I've said about this before. They think it's just silly buggers. They don't realise that people can actually, like, become big and do it as a career. Like just as much as my music and MCing, this could be a daytime career if I got big enough from it, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I ever would. You know, it goes both ways. Like the thing is like you've got to put the effort in to do it. It's not like a job where you just apply and then if you get the job, then you start getting paid. Like doing something like being an MC or being a YouTuber, you've got to work for it, if that makes sense. You've got to work for being a YouTuber. You know, you can't, you don't just apply to do it and then get paid for it. You don't like go for a job interview at YouTube. You've got to put the hours in making the videos, which you obviously don't get paid for, and live streaming, to then get big enough to be able to get paid. Do you know what I mean? It's like the same with MCing. You don't go and apply to work in a music studio and then start making MCs and become big and get tours off of them. You've got to film it, you know, you've got to do all the work yourself. So yeah, the chances are you are going to maybe have 2 to 3 years where I'm just streaming and I don't get absolutely nothing from it and I don't get paid. But in the end, you know, you can get a decent bit of cash from it and it can become a career. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be a normal builder or joiner, which is what I've said before. I want to do something with music and filming and stuff like this. This is what I enjoy. If my day could be getting up, going into a music studio all day, and then recording videos at night, and making songs, and then gigging on the weekend, that would be my life. Like, if I could do that as a career, I would happily do that. That's where I'm happy. I don't feel happy using a powered tool and cutting through wood and plastering a wall. That's not... Do you know what I mean? Like, I like making people happy, uploading content, making videos, but when people are calling me and interrupting me and coming in, they don't understand what it means to me. They just think that it's playing. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it all the time. And do you know what I mean? Like, I just wish people would sometimes realise that some of the stuff that I do is actually more important than they think, and that it means a lot to me. Like, you know what I mean? You know, like obviously, clearly, I understand that, you know, the electric bill, obviously, like, you know, it gets high, and, you know, obviously, like, I need to cut down from using it as much, which is what I've been doing. You know, I have been obviously coming off earlier, but the more times I'm getting shouted for drinks and people coming in, that's like delaying the stream because I'm having to mute my mic and go on BRBs. And it's the same with videos. It's the same with videos. Like yesterday when we were doing the park drive, we were into the advert break, and, you know, someone came in to say night, but, you know, they don't just say night. Like, they start trying to create a conversation with me, and the thing is they don't even acknowledge what I'm doing. Like, they don't look at the screen. Like when I was streaming earlier today, I was doing a live stream earlier on GTA, and we had some family round, and they were knocking on the door and wanted to come in, and, you know, my nan came in. She just came and sat down. She never acknowledged that it said on air in the corner of the screen, and even though it did, you know, she was just, oh, I'm not bothered. But it could be a thing for me. That's the thing. Like, it could potentially be something for me here. Like, I like, the reason why I do it so much is because I have an interest in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's my interest, like doing stuff like this, MCing, making stuff like this. This is where my interest is at. Like, that's why I do it. Like, if someone wants to be a race car driver, They watch race car videos and stand in garages working on cars for hours because that's their interest. That's what they want to do. I do this because this is what I want to do. If that makes sense. Like, it works both ways. Like, same if somebody wants to train to be a paramedic or a doctor, they go and do the training for years because that's what they want to do. I'm doing this because this is what I want to do. This is where I see myself in the future, MCing, making things like this. I'm getting where you're coming from. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, in life, you shouldn't be forced to do jobs and things that you don't want to do. Like, obviously, I'm not saying if you're tight for cash, don't go and get another job or anything like that. But what I'm saying is just because you don't think you'll ever get there, or you don't think it'll ever pull through, or just because you've got to spend years of doing something like this without even getting paid to do it, doesn't mean that you should not do it. Do you know what I mean? Like that's obviously the way I see it, like, Bill. Like think of Mars Bar Vlogs, for example. He gets a camera out every single day and films his life. Now, in his life, you might think, what you doing? Why ain't you got a proper job? Like, all he does is drive to the office and drive to his house, and, you see him in restaurants a lot. But when you look to it, he's doing that because he's happy. And he's getting paid for it. He's put effort into it. So he probably spent, prior to what he does now, he probably spent about 3 to 4 years, maybe a bit less, making these videos and getting nothing for them. Like, to the point, not even getting paid for them. But now, because he's worked at it, he's stuck at it, he's now getting paid for it, and he's doing what he wants to do. I mean, obviously, he's doing his wireless installs as well. But that's the same with Z1 and Only Gaming. Like, I'll take Z1 and Only Gaming more on my level. He sat there every day and he uploaded episodes of series on Minecraft. Whether it's building a city, whether it's playing survival, and now he gets paid for it. I know he recently now doesn't get as much money for YouTube, so he works in a toy shop, but he does get paid for it. So, like, people like from the older generation, Sean, people from the older generation don't think that doing something like this is a job. They don't class it as a job, because what they had as a job in their day was like a manual job, like lifting something or working in a shop, or like getting your hands and your clothes mucky. Whereas nowadays you can do jobs such as stuff like this, like to do with like making music, and do you know what I mean, like streaming. But like, I see where they're coming from about it obviously using a lot of electric, but at the same time, like, in years to come, like, like, I could do really well from this. Like, my MCing's like proved and shown that, like, all the times I've charged my iPad and like, or charged the phone, yeah, like on a building site, but all the times I've charged my iPad or charged my phone to record an MC, that paid off by me now obviously being able to get that gig. If that makes sense. Like, I got that gig at the weekend. I know it was only one, and it's obviously hasn't paid for like all the years that I've been charging phones and stuff, but it's got me to actually get paid to do what I wanted to do. I got paid for going somewhere and MCing. So, do you know what I mean? Like that's just the way I see it. Like the more I do this, but the thing what I'm talking mainly about is like, I could come off earlier if I got the things that I do for the channel done, if that makes sense. And I'm not just saying that's like up to grandparents, because sometimes like people in the Park Drive episodes mess about, we get delayed with scenes. But what I'm saying, like, if I didn't get called for drinks and people didn't come in, like, if you like divide them times that takes for me to go down and get a drink, come back up, and then like get asked questions and start having a chat, or someone coming in, like, think of that time as to how far we could be on with be on with the next scene, or say like how far we could have, how many more scenes we could have got done. Like sometimes in the time that I've gone downstairs, or you know, like collected a drink and stuff like that, we could have had another 2 scenes recorded, which means that could have been however long them scenes are. We could have been that amount of time earlier getting the episode completed, which means I can be on with the editing earlier, if that makes sense. And then the earlier I upload part drive, the earlier that's it, it's done. I can come off. Do you know what I mean? So this guy you got, this gig you got, it shows that you can do DJing in the future for a job or for a weekend job, while you might have another job during the week. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Apart from it was MCing, like, but no, I get what you mean. It does show, you know. It clearly shows. Like, it clearly shows, but like that's the only thing I'm saying. Like, if I didn't get called down for drinks as much, like I could be a lot further on with like recording episodes. I could have like streamed a bit longer, or for example, like I could then finish the streams a bit earlier, which then means I could come off earlier. But the reason why I'm sometimes later coming off is because I've got to wait for the part drive to upload. But the reason why I sometimes wait for the part drive to upload late as I do is simply because I don't get it recorded in the time before like it gets late, if that makes sense. Like, because obviously we start part drive about 7:30, sometimes 8 o'clock, but sometimes because like within that time, like about 8:30, 8:45, I get called for a drink, that puts a delay on the scenes for like a good 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even a little more, sometimes 5 minutes. And when you think like, if every day there's a part drive, if you could finish that episode 5 minutes earlier that day, think how much time you'd be saving in the long run. That's like, that 5 minutes that you get the part drive done earlier, that's 5 minutes you can possibly upload the part drive earlier. So like, if you think like each day there's a part drive, you upload it 5 minutes, that 5 minutes earlier, you're going to be saving a lot of time in the long run. I know like it doesn't seem a lot, but when you actually think about it, you could actually be saving quite a bit of time on the uploads, which means once it's up earlier, I can go offline, because the main reason I come on this PS4 is mainly to do videos. I mean, obviously I play it for a bit of pleasure myself now and again, but mainly I come on to stream for you guys and build these cities and, you know, keep them going for you guys, something to stream, part drive. You know, I'm not saying I don't enjoy doing them, but they're the reasons why I come on. Like, sometimes people think that I just come online to have a bit of fun, and you know that I don't need to do this and I don't need to come on, and like it doesn't matter if I don't come on or I don't get a video up. But what they don't realise is that it does to me. You know, that is my passion. That is what I want to do, and that is obviously, do you know what I mean? Because like, if I did say I want to become a builder, they wouldn't stop me. Do you know what I'm saying? But because it's something like this, and they don't think it's a proper job, they don't really take notice of it. Like if people, like, sometimes I just wish if they took more notice of what I do, they'd actually understand more what it's about and why I do it, because I just don't think they understand that it actually goes live, and I don't think they know what it actually does. I think, you know, that I just don't think they understand, like, that these things actually do go live. Like, you know, earlier on, I don't think they actually realised that it actually was live, and that they were on the internet singing live. Like, this is actually true. Like, well, I did have my mic muted, but I unmuted it at times just to speak to CJ when we were trying to get up that Mount Chiliad. And I can play back that stream and people can watch that now. People from America, China could see them singing. They literally could. Like, that's how easy it is. Do you get me? Like, like they were, you know. So yeah, like that's just the way I see it. Like maybe I rambled on a bit, but I hate it when people are trying to put down something that I really want to do and say you can't, you're gonna have to cut down and you can't do it as much, because I enjoy doing it. Like I honestly can't understand. Like I wouldn't stop them doing something they want to do, like as a dream or a job, you know. So yeah. But guys, we are going to leave this live stream here very soon. So yeah. I do hope you have all enjoyed watching. I'm going to leave it now, because today I can leave it earlier and I can like come off earlier. Which I will be doing. You know, I won't be too long coming off. I will be coming off pretty soon. And you know, stuff like that, to chill out for a bit, you know. But yeah. Just a sec, guys. I just need to type something in to get a picture of it. But yeah, guys, I am mainly obviously going to stick up my MCing, because you know that's the way it goes. You know, and I'm actually getting some equipment for Christmas. I'm gonna get some decent equipment, kind of like what I used at the rugby club, but maybe not as expensive. So I don't know if you guys know about the equipment range for like doing like MCing, which in my opinion, MCing, you know, like is a little different to like, you know, like DJing. Like obviously a lot of MCs like MC with DJs, so sometimes you just need a microphone. But if you're someone like me, who's a bit like a freestyle MC, who might just get asked to go and like do a few songs at like a party or something, like I did at rugby club. I didn't obviously MC over a DJ set then, I just got a few songs and played them. So you need like what's called a big mixer. Now they obviously come in like variations of, you know, like prices and size wise, and pretty much it's just like a big, it's just like pretty much a big mixer. And pretty much what it does is it's got like loads of buttons on it, and you connect your microphones to it, so you've got like different microphone channels. So say if you're like doing something with, say, like some other people who like have a microphone as well, they can connect to microphone, and you can like sort of control their microphone volumes. And you know, say like if you want their microphones to fade a bit quieter and yours to come a bit louder. And they also have like connections for like speakers to connect to, and you can also connect your phones and stuff to them, and you can also control like the music volume through the mixer. So like for example, you can connect an iPad to it, to the mixer, and then pretty much the song will like will play through the speakers, which are then connected to the mixer, and you've got all your volume. You've got all your volume controls on there for your music. Cheers. But they're not cheap because they also can do a lot of other things which I'm not completely sure about. Now, when you're doing a gig, you don't just take a little £40 microphone and a Bluetooth speaker with you. Like, I have got an amp what a speaker connects to, but in my personal opinion, it's not good enough to take to a gig. It's good, but it's not good enough. What I used at the rugby club was a lot better because you had your microphone coming through the speakers and the music coming through the speakers, and it just sounded so sick. Well, actually, I think he maybe did have different speakers for microphones. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna I need to work out the equipment I want, but pretty much I want to get that equipment for gigging. So what I potentially want to do is have that equipment for taking to gigs, because if you are doing something like a gig, you can't always rely on other people having equipment there. Like, that was a one-off. Them having that equipment was a one-off. That might not always be the case. If you could take your own equipment, that would be great. But, I'd always lend people equipment. Like, say if a singer was coming on after me and he wanted to use my mic and speakers and plug something in for his music, I would always say, yeah, go ahead. Unless, of course, I had to, pack away to go somewhere else urgently. But if I was free after I'd done what I'd done, that, would be good. But then, obviously, if you get a gig, you've obviously got to take them with you, and you've got to go ahead and set them up, which is kind of in a way why I need to go ahead and do my driving test, because getting the equipment is gonna be the first thing, because I can do a few local gigs around. But then I think coming into next year, I think I am going to try and do my driving test. Now, the reason why I didn't do my driving test already is because I kept failing the theory test, and I wasn't failing the theory test because I physically didn't know the questions. It was more the fact of people making me nervous around the house. Like, last time I was doing my theory test, every day my nan used to keep saying to me, up until that test, oh, I do hope you pass, and in my mind it was making me think they're going to be really disappointed if I don't pass. And then when it comes to the day, they're like, go on, come home and tell us you passed and stuff like that. And I'm sort of getting so worried trying not to come home and fail, that I'm getting confused and I'm getting forgetful and mixed up in the room where you do your theory test. So, in other words, I'm not being harsh, but it was other people's fault because they were making me nervous, and I was kind of feeling under pressure, if that makes sense. I kind of felt like if I didn't pass, it was gonna be hell on, and everyone was gonna be disappointed. Whereas it was making me I was getting nervous on the day. I was alright practicing at home. If I just do a theory test at home, I'm quite good with the questions, and I'm quite well, I was getting some good scores at home, and, I was going through the questions and getting them right. But when it came to the day of doing the test, the theory test, it was kind of to the point where I was getting that nervous that it was making me forgetful, and it was making me not want to. It was making me just fail it because I was getting too stressed about it. And it was it's no good getting too stressed, if that makes sense. Getting stressed, it isn't the way about it, because that makes things more worse. Obviously, getting a bit worried, obviously isn't a bad thing, but when you're getting really nervous, it puts you off. Like, it was the fact that people kept going on, like, most days, oh, I do hope you pass this test when you go and do it. And that's the thing what was putting the pressure on me, because I was kind of like, I was feeling bad, like, if I passed, I was feeling bad about passing. Whereas, like, you know, like, if they just said, look, if you fail, you fail, you know, just go in and do it again, which is, you know, what my dad said. But do you know what I mean? Like, the thing is I was doing good with the theory tests at home, like the practicing. Like when I was doing them, I was doing good. But the thing is no one was helping me either, apart from like someone who doesn't really know much about it. Like like everyone was kind of just like leaving me to get on with it myself. Like, I've always needed help with stuff like tests and that at school. I've always needed help, so that was another reason. But going back to the point, I think next year is definitely a year to buckle down and, you know, try and pass, so then I can get my own car. But the other thing what puts me off about getting a car as well is you've got to pay sky high for the insurance. Like, I'm limited to what cars I can really get, to be honest with you, unless you want to pay thousands for your insurance company. So if you want to drive something like a little Corsa or like a little Ford Fiesta, that's all right. But if you want to probably drive something decent, which I do, you know, to fit like music equipment in, I'm probably going to have to pay quite a bit for the insurance. Like, say if I wanted like a similar car what my dad's got, you know, what my dad's got, a Ford Mondeo Estate, he's got quite a lot of room in the boot, but probably for someone my age, that's gonna be sky high. And another reason why is because you've got so many noggins on the road. Like, you've got so many like people what will just pull out in front of you, and you know what I mean, like do things wrong. The thing what I liked about having a bike as well instead of a car is I wasn't allowed to take people on the back. So I didn't have the responsibility of taking people on the back. Whereas if you pass your test for a car, people are like, oh, give us a lift here, or take me down to the supermarket. And the thing about that is I'm personally nervous. Like, if I crashed and they got injured, I would never forgive myself. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm the driver, so I'm responsible for them people what come into my car and sit on the seat. And obviously, like family and stuff, I couldn't do it. Like parents have, you know, have obviously said like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, if I crashed with somebody in like family or friends, I would beat myself up about it and I'd never forgive myself. Whereas when I'm on like a little 50cc bike, if I come off, that's me what gets hurt, no one else. Like, obviously, like, yeah, if I go into a car, then they do. But what I'm saying is no one's riding on the back with me, or no one's riding in there with me. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I haven't got that responsibility. Like, say if I take a corner too fast and come off, I haven't got the responsibility of somebody else being hurt. Whereas if I'm speeding in a car or something, or driving along in a car, and I, like, lose control and come off the road, you know, and I've injured that person, that's me, because I was driving. That's what puts me off about driving. Because the roads are so busy nowadays that you just never know, like, who's going to pull out in front of you. And if you've got people in your car, you've got that responsibility of them people in your car. And if they're injured, like, they're probably gonna, do you know what I mean? They're probably gonna go ahead and be like, you know, like, oh, you know, that's your fault, you were driving, you know, I want money for this, you know, I want a claim for this. You know, I did not feel safe in your car, or something like that. Or if it was like a kid, you know, like a young lad, you're probably gonna get his dad saying like, you know, nah, you want to claim what you can get for that, you know, you know, or like trying to twist the story, like, oh, you know, young lad, nice car, probably trying to speed about and show off. What first car would you like to buy? I would love a Ford Escort Mark 1. Love a Ford Escort Mark 1 or a Ford Escort Cosworth. I would absolutely love one, but the insurance would just be sky high. It would absolutely be rocket high with something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody always says my dream car would be a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, but that's not mine. I like the classic cars with a nice sound and just a simple thing. Like, I don't like, you get all these modern cars now, and you can have all these Bluetooth screens in them and LED lights around the seats, and you can have all these like electric windows what go down, and you can have like voice controls. Your Roblox Dynamic. But you don't like, the point of going in a car is, in my opinion, is to go for a drive and enjoy the drive, not to sit in a car and start playing with like screens and like buttons on the dashboard. Like a car, you get in a car, you start it up, you hear the nice sound, you go for a drive, and you enjoy that nice drive. You don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously a CD player in a car's obviously, I like CD players in a car, but I'm talking about all these modern cars what have all these like special buttons, and you press the key and it starts the car up. You press a button instead of turning a key. Like, that's not like that thrill when you put that key in and turn it, and you get that classic like vroom. Bom, 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 bom. I like your world. Oh, cheers. I'm just kind of flying around, having a look at it. But yeah, when you get that classic sound like that, that's when it's good. That's like a proper classic car, in my opinion. So yeah, I definitely like something like a Ford Escort Mark 1 as a first car, which I do want to drive, but there's just a lot of things what put me off driving, why I've not been so keen to do it like so soon. And a lot of people have been saying like, get your driving license done, but that's another thing what pressures me as well. There's plenty of people in this world what live all their life and never drive. Like, there's people like, there's someone in our town who's like retired now. He was a painter and a decorator, and alright, yeah, sound. And he spent all of his life riding a motorbike. He never passed his car test. He came to town, rain or shine, winter or summer, on that motorbike. He never did his car test. There is people what do it. My mum's new boyfriend just rides a bike. He's never driven a car. So even when it's winter, he goes on his bike. He does not drive a car. I'm not saying that I never will drive a car, but what I'm potentially saying is that, like, if you like, it's not a crime or a law to pass your test. There's plenty of people what go through life who never drive. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm old enough now to drive, but that doesn't mean to say that I have to drive. I can wait like, in my opinion, I'll drive when I'm ready to drive. I feel next year might be the year for me to drive. So maybe because I want to drive, maybe because I feel then that I'm ready to drive, I might pass the theory as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I feel more confident and I feel more that I want to do it and that I can do it, then I maybe will do it. Do you get me now, though? Like, yeah. Ash, don't let people push you around. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just take your time. Think it's the right time or not. Don't listen to people. It's your choice. Yeah, that's exactly true. That is the truest thing, CJ. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's all about doing it when you're ready and when you feel confident about doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like something like that, it's not like a once in a lifetime thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got all the time in the world to drive. They're gonna keep making cars, whether they're electric or, you know what I mean? Like, cars are the thing. It's not something what's gonna go out of fashion in a few years and everyone's gonna go back to riding horses. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, cars are there long term. It's not like, say, skydiving. Like, you might not ever get the chance to skydive again. You know what I mean? Like, driving a car's different. You've got, you know, cars are always going to be there. Like, yeah, man, be yourself. Exactly. That's what I try to be. I hate people trying to make me be somebody else, trying to control me. It drives me insane. Like, you know, oh, you should do this. I'd be inclined to do this. You know, I'd be inclined to do it that way. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyway guys, I am going to leave the live stream here. I want to thank you all for watching, tuning in, showing your support. If you do want to subscribe, I do live pretty much daily, whether it's on Lego Worlds, Minecraft, GTA, and also we have our long-term series called Park Drive Drama, which comes out on a Sunday, a Tuesday, and a Thursday, and we have an episode which gets released on that day, fully edited, inside of this world, in the neighbourhood area. So, you know, be sure not to miss that out. I also do other videos as well, updating you guys sometimes about new games and stuff like that. I also stream new games when they come out and I buy them. If it's a game that I've obviously been interested in. And I also do a series called Clubbing Year, where I pretty much film like live gigs and live events that I've like gone to, like, you know, seen like live performances and acts, and I kind of give you a review of them. So like, subscribe and comment. We'll see you guys next time.